Imagine this for a moment. Two people walk into the same room. One immediately pulls out their phone, adjusts the angle, fixes the lighting, checks their reflection, and captures the moment. The other does nothing. They observe, they listen, they remember. Hours later, one of them has proof they were there. The other has understanding. Now here's the uncomfortable question most people never ask. What if intelligence doesn't crave visibility? What if the smartest people in the room aren't hiding, but opting out? Because in a world obsessed with being seen, choosing invisibility can be a form of power. And once you understand why intelligent people often avoid posting their photos, you'll never look at silence the same way again. We live in the most documented era in human history. Faces are currency, moments are content. Identity is compressed into a profile picture and judged in less than a second. Social platforms reward exposure, not depth, reaction, not reflection. And over time, something subtle happens. Being visible becomes mistaken for being valuable. But intelligence doesn't operate on that frequency. Intelligent minds tend to ask different questions. Not, how do I look? But what does this cost me? Not, will this get attention? But is this worth my attention? And for many intelligent people, the answer is no. Because every photo posted is not just an image, it's a negotiation with perception, comparison, and judgment. Highly intelligent people value control over their internal world. Their thoughts, emotions, identity, and attention are carefully guarded resources. Posting photos means surrendering control. Once an image is out there, it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to algorithms, strangers, opinions, and misinterpretations. Intelligent people understand something most overlook. You cannot control how you are perceived, but you can control how much access you give. So they limit exposure, not out of fear, but of strategy. Silence becomes a filter, distance becomes protection, and privacy becomes a form of self-respect. There's a psychological edge to staying unseen. When you don't constantly project yourself, you gain something rare: perspective. You're not busy managing reactions. You're not calculating likes. You're not adjusting yourself for approval. You're watching. Observers see patterns performers miss. They read tone, energy, inconsistency. They understand people deeply because they're not distracted by being understood. Intelligent people often choose observation over exhibition because knowledge grows in quiet, not noise. Posting photos creates the appearance of connection, not necessarily the reality of it. Likes feel social, but they're shallow. Comments feel validating, but they're fleeting. Intelligent people are often hyper-aware of this illusion. They know that broadcasting your image is not the same as being known. In fact, the more you curate yourself, the further you drift from authenticity. So instead of spreading themselves thin across hundreds of silent viewers, intelligent people often invest deeply in a few real relationships. Depth over reach, substance over signal. Psychologically, frequent self-posting trains the brain to view the self as an object. You stop experiencing life directly and start watching yourself live it. You think in terms of angles, aesthetics, reactions. Intelligent people sense this distortion early. They notice how identity fractures when self-worth becomes externalized. So they step back. They refuse to reduce themselves to an image because they understand that identity built on observation collapses under scrutiny. Posting photos delivers immediate reward, dopamine, feedback, recognition. But intelligent people are often wired for delayed gratification. They tolerate silence today for clarity tomorrow. They resist short-term validation for long-term stability. They don't need constant affirmation because their confidence is internally sourced. And when you don't need validation, the urge to display disappears. Privacy isn't secrecy, it's a boundary. Highly intelligent people are exceptionally aware of cognitive boundaries, what drains them, distracts them, fragments their attention. Social exposure is mentally expensive. It invites comparison, misjudgment, expectation, and emotional labor. So they choose privacy not because they lack confidence, but because they value focus.
And focus is where intelligence compounds. From the outside, silence is often misread as insecurity, aloofness, shyness. But intelligence is frequently quiet because it doesn't need to announce itself. Think about it. The loudest signal in the room is rarely the most meaningful one. Intelligent people don't need to prove presence. Their influence moves differently, subtle, delayed, undeniable. People who constantly post often seek emotional regulation externally. Intelligent people regulate internally. They don't outsource their mood to metrics. They don't allow algorithms to decide how they feel about themselves. That emotional independence makes public self-exposure unnecessary. When your inner world is stable, you don't need the crowd to hold you up. Another reason intelligent people avoid photos: permanence. The internet never forgets. Context fades, intent disappears, but images remain. Intelligent minds think long-term. They understand that today's casual post can become tomorrow's misunderstanding, so they act with restraint. They choose legacy over momentary expression. Intelligent people often experience themselves as more than what can be seen. Their identity lives in ideas, values, humor, contradictions, growth. A photo freezes them, and freezing feels dishonest. They don't want to be reduced. They want to evolve. Many intelligent people are comfortable alone, not isolated, selective. Solitude allows integration. It sharpens intuition. It strengthens self-awareness. Posting photos interrupts that inner dialogue. It pulls attention outward. So they remain quiet, and in that quiet, they grow. There is power in being underestimated. When people don't have access to your image, they project less, they assume less, they control you less. Intelligent people instinctively understand this. Mystery protects freedom. Here's the truth most won't admit. Visibility is optional. Intelligence is not. Some of the most capable, insightful, and emotionally grounded people you'll ever meet leave no digital trace. They're not hiding. They're choosing where their energy goes. And in a world screaming for attention, choosing silence might be the most intelligent move of all.